Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to get on here and give you guys a little update for the SERE Endurance Challenge. Registration looks awesome. Thank you so much for supporting this particular cause. A lot of late arrivals, a lot of 50 milers, 100-mile distance. That now that we have that in place, there's some folks that are actually starting to take that on. And that kind of brings me up to my first point. A lot of questions have come in through email about whether you have to do the distance in one push or can you do it over multiple days? And the answer is yes to both of them. If you are doing 50 miles or you're doing the SERE mile or the 18 miler, you can do this all in one push. Or if you need to, over that 31-day time period, you can do it however long it takes you to do. You can do 1 mile a day and do 2 miles one day and accomplish the 32 miler in that 31-day period. It's really up to you on how you want to do it. We are coming up with some creative ways of how we're going to set the podium, but we got to remember that how we are going and how we would like for you to produce the results for your own race is cumulative time. So if you ran 18 miles in one day and it took you 6 hours to do it, you would log 6 hours. If it took you 24 hours to do that 18 miles, and when you go to do your results, you would log it in the format 24 hours, however many minutes, however many seconds. It's cumulative. So if you're doing the SERE 100 or the SERE mile as an example, which is 100 miles in 96 hours or less, you would have the option to do 100 miles in one push, or break it up, however you feel that you can do that. For me, I'm doing the late arrivals challenge, so one of the strategy that I'm looking at doing with that one is actually putting the 100-mile up front and breaking that up into 10-mile increments, where I can get some on the treadmill, some outside, whatever it is, but try to at least maintain 25 miles each day when I'm walking. But that's just me. Somebody might want to do a 50-mile push in one day and then knock out the other 50 miles in the next 72 hours. But your time for that would be the time that you did that you started to the final time of when you ended that last mile 100. And then if it took you 3 days, you would end up logging 72 hours. I'm just marking off some things here real quick. Another question that came up is about the window of time. A lot of you folks that are running the late arrivals challenge, some of you have emailed me and asked about, can I mix up the dates of the mileage for each of the weeks? And you can. You don't have to run the SERE mile on the last week. If you need to, because of scheduling or whatever, you can jostle those mileage requirements across each week. You don't necessarily have to go in order of 18, 32, 50, and then the SERE mile. If you want to knock out the SERE mile first, like I'm going to try to do, that's the strategy that we would like for you to do. It's whatever it is and however you feel you can get it done. That's the key on that. Another question that came up around the window time frame is some folks that are military, that are in the military, have been asking about potentially starting early or finishing up a week later because of moves and PCSs and all kinds of different things. And every person is different in terms of what their situation is. But just reach out to me. Do not sign up because you can't make a certain mileage on that 1 week. What we ask that you do is, again, it's a challenge. So, depending on your situation, we'll work with you on that, and we'll work with you on being able to make it happen, especially if you want to get it done. So that's key on that. The other thing is there's been some questions about who can participate. This is not about SERE. It's the SERE Endurance Challenge, just merely out of the fact that it's coming from different concepts within the SERE community. For many, many years, we've had things like the long walk, where a lot of survival instructors, specialists, whatever you want to call yourself, has looked at a distance and has walked that distance over X amount of days. And, there's a lot of history in folks doing it on the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail. There's even stuff, folks that have done it where the survival school has been housed at, across the United States. Now it's in Eastern Washington. And, there's a lot of folks that go out and do long walks where they're walking the entire training area of the survival school. And so these concepts and, things that we're doing that are thematic around SERE, that's really it. It's open to everybody. If you want to get your whole family involved, get your whole family involved with it. That's why we think that the distances are super cool, because you have 18 days, or you have 31 days to do 18 miles or 32. My youngest daughter, she's graduating this year. It makes me sad, but my youngest daughter is doing the 50-miler, so she's going to spread that out over 31 days. And so those are just some things and some insights about who can participate. Again, for us, the main goal is fundraise, right? Like, our goal is to try to raise as much as we possibly can and give back to the SERE community in terms of the SERE memorial effort. And with that said, this particular challenge has some awards that we are looking to provide for you. There are finisher awards as well as podium. And we have had a lot of email inquiries about two things. What do the t-shirts look like? And what do the medals look like? And I know that's super important to racers. And as we had to change this thing up, I'm glad that you all are patient with me and with the rest of the board, so we can kind of figure out what this would look like in terms of t-shirt design, where we had to completely look at something new with a new logo, a new event, as well as some of the different awards that we're going to do. So without further ado, I'm going to actually show you guys the concepts that we have for this. Now, there might be some small modifications to it, but ideally this is what Team Henry designs, who's also survival instructor, SERE specialist, who is going to be building our awards. This is some of the stuff that I've talked with him about on what we're planning on doing. So I'm going to share the screen real quick, and I'm going to end with all this. And again, keep spreading the word, folks. We're getting a lot more signups. We're getting a lot more inquiries. If you know people across bases, if you know folks that are on main side out of Fairchild Air Force Base, we're really hoping to just kind of get the military community wrapped around this particular event and make it as great as we possibly can make it, with the ultimate goal of raising some money for a really good effort. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to essentially kind of go over on this piece. I'm just going to put it right there. That's fine. All right. So with this said, most of the folks that have communicated with me are late arrivals folks, and they really want to know what these awards are going to look like. Everybody who's registered is going to get a finisher's medal, and these are the finisher's medals. We're going to talk about podium stuff once we start working through that design, but these are the finisher medal concepts that we put in place. Again, these are going to be done in wood, just like all of our other medals that we have for the Canixu Ultras. Team Henry Designs is going to be working on putting this together, but these are the main concepts that you'll see. So this right here is the late arrival finisher. This is going to be actually a little bit bigger than a belt buckle. You're going to be able to put this on your desk. It'll stand up. On the front of this is what you're going to see here, and on the back is going to be a really cool message. So if you're a late arrival candidate right now, but if you're an actual finisher, these medals are going to come to you at a later date once we're able to get done with all of the verifications that we'll need to do for the late arrival folks. And on the back side of this, there'll be a small little message that will go along with it. So there'll be a custom message specific to you. The SERE mile is the same as the late arrival. This is just commemorating, obviously, that you've done 100 miles in 96 hours or less, and it's going to be the same style that's set up. It'll be a kind of a belt buckle, just a little bit bigger than that, like those big Western belt buckles that you see. It'll be mounted so you can actually display this on a desk. Your finishers medals for everything else, the 18, the 32, and the 50. And the 100. The 100 will be a little bit bigger. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but this is what the finishers medals for each one of these is going to be. Again, they're done in wood. It'll look super nice. For those of you that have seen our other finisher medals, they're pretty classy when it comes to that. But ideally, this is what we're looking for in terms of looking to do in terms of our awards. Real quick, I just also wanted to show you t-shirt concept. I know a lot of you have been wanting to know what that looks like. For some of you that aren't going to be participating but want to buy a shirt, you can go onto the race site and you can look up race swag and you can order shirts and hoodies there as well. I'm still waiting on the hoodie design. We're thinking right now it's going to be a royal blue hoodie with the same kind of logo concept in the front that I'm going to show you right now. So this right here, not the same exact shirt. We're still going to be using Bella Canvas, but this is ideally what we're looking for. This is going to be the design in the front. We'll have some logo stuff in the back, and that'll be the shirt. It's in play. I think it's super cool. We've got a lot of folks that have really liked it based on some, different design that we've had. I just tossed it around to different people, and they have been really receptive to that. Other than that, that's the last of the updates that I have. Please, please, please continue to spread the word. This is such a big event for us every year. We're super bummed that we can't join as a community, and we're all just hoping that, over the next 31 days, once this thing kicks off, we'll be able to join each other in different experiences virtually. Like I said before, we're going to be putting out an announcement for all of the race registrants as well as on our Facebook group page about the actual kickoff on June 13th. We're going to make it virtual, but it's going to be very similar to what we do out at the actual race, where we'll commemorate all of the SERE specialists that had passed away, and we do it in a very unique style. This time we'll bring it into Zoom. People can call in and take a look and watch it, or watch it at a later point in time. Hopefully everybody's out there having a good time training as we start to kind of open up a little bit. Stay safe, be healthy, and we'll talk to you here in a couple more days.